everybody, and welcome to France. So, I had a really interesting last part of my trip, which I promised to tell you about. So, I ended up in a village about 3 miles away from where I was supposed to be. And there I was. Um, I pulled in, absolutely everything was pitch black. So, it turns out in France, they turn off most of the lights at about 11 p.m. and all of the lights at about 12 p.m. So it's now like 12 p.m. and I roll into this little town, and not even town, I mean, it was a collection of farmhouses, and switch my motorcycle off and start thinking about, okay, so how am I going to figure this one out? Because I am now in the middle of I don't know where. The mobile phone signal was absolutely atrocious, and I'm really tired at this point. It was about 12 p.m. a.m. and yeah, I wasn't quite sure what to do. So I see one light come on, and this torch starts sort of scanning the area where I've stopped. So I realize someone is a bit concerned about who's this person who's arrived on a rather substantial and noisy motorcycle. So finally, somebody pops their head out the door. Lots of curtains twitching in all the other converted barns. And so somebody sticks their head out, says and they start speaking to me in French. Now, my French is okay, but it's not necessarily equipped for finding oneself lost in the middle of the countryside at 12 a.m. So I just give up at this point and I say to them, okay, parlez-vous anglais? Pour favor, not pour favor, s'il vous plaît. And they say, oui, oui, I speak English. So I say to them, look, I'm just a little bit lost. I'm not quite sure where I am. I just need to figure out how to get to my next point. So they're sort of chatting to me, and then other lights come on, and a few other locals emerge from their farmhouses. And while I'm busy explaining to them what's going on, my I turn because someone has sort of appeared on my right shoulder. So I turn to look at them, and in the process, lose my balance. I put my foot down, and the road is really gravelly. So I proceed in front of about 7 bewildered French people to fall off my motorcycle. Fortunately, it wasn't moving, and fortunately for my motorcycle, it landed on my leg. So my motorcycle was fine, my leg, not so much. And even though I wear like appropriate clothing, the bit that impacted with my leg was just below the knee, so not much was going to help with that anyway. So there I am, lying on my ass in the middle of a French village. Now 12:10 a.m. Not quite sure what the hell I'm going to do. And I just start laughing, and they all think I'm a little bit nuts. And fortunately, because I don't speak with an English accent, they realize I'm not English, so they decide to be a little bit helpful. Anyway, I lift my motorcycle up, all by myself, mind you. None of them, like, they all just stood around watching as I got my motorcycle back onto its feet. And then one of the residents speaks to me, but I detect a slightly Antipodean accent. So I think, okay, good, like somebody from the Southern Hemisphere, this is going to be helpful. And she says to me, yeah, you need to go to the bottom of the road, left, right, first 7, first left, next right, and then you'll find yourself in Bonavent, and then you'll be fine, and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, could you please leave quietly because my baby's trying to sleep. So I'm kind of like, okay, fine, I've literally just fallen over in front of you, but okay, I will leave quietly, I promise you. And it kind of made me think about how things are in the UK, because they kind of like, you can pretty much do anything you want as long as you do it quietly. So anyway, so there I was, got back on the bike, managed to get hold of my the people I was going to visit in France, and I kind of know where I need to go from here. But I just thought that was like such a funny situation, and I thought I would share it with you. So hopefully, having shared that, you will appreciate how I woke up in the morning, having got there and seen where I had arrived and how absolutely wonderful it was. Ah, yes, countryside, kitties, puppies, and warm weather. What more can anyone ever ask for? Yes. So, after a day of relaxation and contemplation, I now find myself in a really beautiful place. I mean, I cannot even begin to describe to you how beautiful this place is. Watching the sun go down, enjoying myself, and getting ready for a rather disorganized evening. So, this was supposed to be an evening of um, just going out for dinner, catching up with an old mate who I went to school with, and his beautiful, wonderful wife. And it all started like fairly like normally. I mean, we just had some dinner, some paella, which I've never eaten before. We were then invited for lock-in French style, and then things got a little bit, I mean, it started out a little bit like polite and under control, and then, well, we had quite a lot to drink and lots of good fun, and you gotta love the French. Man, they know how to party. I had such an awesome night. I don't know if I'll ever see these people again, but hopefully, having touched with them in a moment in time, they will remember their time that they spent with me. It was someone's first time ever meeting a trans person, and I really hope I made a good impression. Lots of good fun, and cannot begin to explain how happy I am right now. Thanks for watching, everybody, and please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. In love and light, Julie.